Hey guys, welcome back to Jurassic Collectibles. So today we're taking a look at this. It's the Dimorphodon from the new Jurassic World set. This forms part of the Growlers line, which includes the Velociraptor Blue, which we have reviewed, and the link is in the description down below. It's also our second pterosaur that we've reviewed from the Jurassic World line. The other one is the Pteranodon versus Helicopter set. Again, link is in the description down below. But today we're taking a look at this guy. For me, it's great to see the Dimorphodon in toy form and also resurrected for the film. I say resurrected because it appeared in the Lost World PlayStation game from years ago. So let's take a closer look at the packaging. So up in the top left hand corner we got the Jurassic World logo, and then we've got this red and blue branding going across the top. We got the T-Rex there roaring proudly in the corner as he should. Down here we got a picture of how to activate the gimmick on this one, so you squeeze the legs together, and this is the Dimorphodon, and there's an image of the glowing wound and the fact that this is an electronic roaring toy. On the bottom we've just got a rundown of the other dinosaurs in this wave, the Indominus Rex, the T-Rex and the Velociraptor. We've reviewed all of these and links are in the description down below. On the back we've got a beautiful picture. Oh, you can hear him flapping his wings. We've got a picture here of the Dimorphodon glowing blue. We've got the Jurassic World logo. Over here it says Dimorphodon, a ferocious fight for survival. They've said that on all the packaging, and you can see, oh, he's flapping his wings again. You can see an image here of the glowing wound and it says flapping wings. He certainly is flapping his wings. Then we've got a conjoined JW logo and the Hasbro logo. So without further ado, let's get this guy out of the packaging. So here is the Dimorphodon out of the packaging, and I have to commend Hasbro on the ease of being able to remove their dinosaurs from their packaging. You only have to cut 2 paper twist ties and they come straight out of the box, so that is cool. What I don't appreciate on this guy is the sculpt. I think this is a bit of an ugly toy, if I'm honest. Probably the ugliest pterosaur I've ever seen. So here is the Dimorphodon in hand, and I'm not too pleased about this guy. He's got a very boxy looking head. He hasn't got very much of a neck, and the body is quite fat looking. I mean, this could be how the dinosaur looks in the film, so I could actually be complaining more about the design of the creature itself, but it's just an ugly looking pterosaur, don't you think? So the main feature on this guy is if you squeeze the feet, he actually flaps his wings and makes the sound effect, and he also chomps his jaws. Now the only problem with this is, as I lift his jaw, you'll see that it's actually loose when you're not making use of that feature. It kind of hangs loose, so that's a little bit weird. Also, we've got the glowing wound on the back, so you press this and you get a roaring sound effect, so that's pretty cool. The jaw does not move when you press that, so you have to kind of do this in time to kind of get that to animate properly. So taking a closer look at the sculpt and the paint job, as I said, I'm really not fond of this head sculpt. It's very boxy looking. Looks far too predatory for a pterosaur. But apart from that, I mean, if you were to look at this head standalone as a sort of, you know, a theropod, it's actually not a bad sculpt, and I do like the detail around the eyes and across the crest there. I think it's really, really nice. The paint job isn't too bad. It's a little bit sort of military camo sort of looking for my tastes. The inside of the mouth has been sculpted and painted. There's a little bit of a sort of compromise at the back there for the hinge of the jaw, but you know, you can forgive that. But then it's the fact that you get that head with no neck, and then it's kind of this big seam line here, and then we come into the shoulder area, and you can see it's kind of well sculpted around here, but it's just a really ugly body shape. Also, you can see here the hinge is really obvious. As we move into the wings, now this was also the case on the Pteranodon, but with this one I feel it's even worse. You can see they've just curved the wing round because obviously this thing needs to hinge. So unfortunately the sculpt on this just feels very, very unrealistic. The arm with the membrane here is done a bit better than on the Pteranodon, and actually I don't mind the sculpting of the individual fingers there. It's a shame they didn't paint the claws on this one though. I'm not too fond of the paint scheme on the wing. It feels a little artificial, these circles especially, but the sculpt is actually quite nice and sort of skin-like. On the underside you can see there's some nice veining going on, and there's nice musculature here sculpted on the underside of the arm. That is quite nice. Unfortunately we do have all these obvious screw holes and the battery box and where the audio emits from here at the bottom. That's a bit unsightly, but I suppose that's why they put it on the bottom. Moving down to the leg, you can see there's some nice fine scaling going on, and actually this leg is sculpted really nicely. Unfortunately, some oil from this mechanism has sort of flowed over the leg, and it actually is coming off on my fingers. You can see it there. It's obviously to keep this mechanism from having too much friction, but unfortunately it spilt over the leg and made it look really glossy and wet. So at first I thought they'd put a really high gloss on the leg, but it is in fact oil. Apart from that, the sculpt on the leg is really nice. You can see there's some nice armor plated scales going down the front of the leg, and the individual toes are sculpted really nicely and bird-like with little membrane parts in between the feet. So moving down into the tail, you can see it's actually quite nicely sculpted down here. These stripes, I suppose it's quite nice. It feels a little bit too designed for my liking, especially when you combine it with this area up here. I'm really not fond of this paint job. This feels very constructed and designed, so yeah, I don't like this sort of camo effect going on. But apart from that, it's not a bad sculpt in terms of its detail. It's just I don't like the proportions of this thing at all. I like these broad scales running across the top of the head when contrasted with the tiny scales on the side of the head. That works really nicely. So just how big is this guy? Let's get out the tape measure. You're looking at about 11-12 inches, so you're talking about 29-30 centimeters long. And then in terms of his length, you're looking at about 8.5 inches, which is about 22 centimeters. Size comparison time, let's bring in the Pteranodon, which we have reviewed. Link is in the description down below. You can see they're of comparable size. Now I'm pretty sure in the film the Pteranodon is supposed to be much bigger, but obviously this is a Growler, and the Growler toys seem to be of a bigger scale. Next, here's the Dimorphodon next to the Growler Velociraptor, and you can see that they're pretty good in terms of their scale. I think maybe the Raptor would be a little bit bigger than this. If you look at the ones in the trailer, the Dimorphodons do look smaller than that. Next, let's bring in the Indominus Rex from the Versus Gyrosphere set. Again, link is in the description down below. Although these two aren't in scale, they do look pretty playable next to each other. And lastly, let's bring in our good friend Off Color Alan. He comes all the way from 1993, so he's a little bit worse for wear. But actually these two look quite nice next to each other. This guy reminds me a little bit of the Dimorphodon, so he is growing on me just a little bit. Thanks, Alan! There he goes, he's leaving the review table. So there we have it, guys. That was today's look at the Jurassic World Dimorphodon. Although this guy has some awesome gimmicks, I'm really put off by the design of this guy. I really don't like the boxy style head and the really out of proportion body. It's not something that appeals to me, but I'm sure it's going to make a great toy for youngsters. I like the flapping gimmick, and I like the fact that you have the roaring sound when you press the wound. It's a shame about the oil on the legs. That was a little bit of a quality control issue, and I'm not too fond of the paint job. So this guy unfortunately hasn't got much going for it for me, but maybe you guys will feel differently. Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you've got this far in the video, I want you to leave a comment down below. What's been your favourite dinosaur in the Jurassic World line that we've reviewed so far? In the meantime, guys, rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.